Boku Dake got Inai Machi, also known as Erased, or we can call it an extreme case of deja vu. Satoru, our main character, has a mysterious phenomenon going on inside of him that he calls revival. Now this power allows him to go a few minutes back in time to prevent tragic occurrences from happening. Whenever this revival power of his kicks in, he looks for anything that seems out of place, then tries to go fix it himself. Why does he want to do that? Well, that's what main characters do. But besides that, he's filled with regret from a tragic event that happened in his early childhood. A string of kidnappings and murders. In particular, one girl named Kayo Hinazuki. He felt that he himself was personally responsible for her kidnapping. So you mix that along with this power, and what do you get? Something called a second chance. So his revival power kicks in, and he's sent nearly 20 years into the past, right before all the murders and kidnappings started. Erased has a great premise. I'm immediately reminded of the show Steins Gate, but in this case he has no control over when he goes back in time, or when he's thrown back into the present period. And when Satoru gets thrown back into the present only to realize that things were the same, all he can do was sit around and wait and hope that he gets thrown back into the past again. Now our other main character, Kayo, they do a good job of portraying her as a sweet girl that's just part of a terrible situation. Now I've seen some ain't shit mothers, and my thoughts about them are all the same.
Go to sleep, bitch! Die, motherfucker, die! Bye, motherfucker, bye! Go to sleep, bitch! Why are you still alive? Why? Die, motherfucker,
I kinda wanted a little bit of explanation into his revival power, and this show actually did that. Now, it was a very subtle way of doing things the way it was presented, but it was a good enough explanation for me.
俺が考えた漫画の話。予定を間違えて子供を死なせてしまった死神の話だ。なんとか元に戻そうとしてあがいて動けば動くほど関わる人たちが不幸になっていく。
Ah, so death is out here fucking up and making you go out and clean its messes. Ah, got it. So that's what this show mainly does. It goes back and forth between time periods in order to fix things that weren't supposed to happen in the first place. Alright, now what are the problems with this show? Well, the majority of them have to do with the latter half of it. In particular, the ending. Some episodes towards the back half of Erased felt rather stagnant. Satoru would spend an entire episode of making sure that Kayo's happy, making sure the murderer doesn't try to come around. Then within the last minute of the episode, they would drop a bombshell and make you want to watch the next one. But I don't think whole episodes need to revolve around that. Alright, now if I was to use one word to describe the very ending of this show, it would have to be half-assed. I definitely wanted to see more of the older version of him. As important to the story as Kayo is, when her and Satoru finally met as two adults, he did cry when he first saw her, but it definitely didn't feel like that emotion that they did much better in other scenes. And don't even get me started on our main antagonist, cause it's like he waited almost 20 years just to do that. It just felt as though things were rushed a little bit just to come to a conclusion. But at the end of the day, I did like this show, a mystery with some sci-fi elements to it that really had me entertained in the first half, that kind of fizzled out towards the end, has me awarding Erased with a 3.8 out of 5.